Hi guys, Mike Auton here. Another quick one for you today on how to sell millions on social media. I know I'm not pretending it's easy. I'm not pretending it's quick. I'm not pretending you're going to make $1 million overnight. But if you want to know how do I sell millions, how do I make millions on social media, this is the video for you. Now, the hardest part of any business, the hardest part of any process is going to be the start. It's the same for you, it's the same for me, it's the same for everybody. So in that respect, it's a level playing field, okay? What are you going to do? You're going to use a process called Avatar Replication, or at least that's what I call it. An avatar, as you probably know, is somebody who looks like somebody else or represents somebody else. And replication is just copying, okay? Now, how are we going to do this process that I call Avatar Replication to sell millions online? And how do household names, people that you see on Facebook all the time, how do they do exactly the same thing? They do it using this process that you can start with when you've got ideally about 100 people who've already bought from you. If you've got 100 people, a list of emails, phone numbers, contact details of 100 people that you've already sold to, then you can begin this process straight away. It doesn't have to be exactly 100, but if it's around 100, it's a great start. The closer you can get to 1,000, even better, okay? When we go from 100 people who've bought from us to 1,000 people who've bought from us, that's when you can really get serious about this process I call Avatar Replication, and that's when you can make the serious money. Now, what we're going to do, we're going to take this list. I'm not saying it's easy to get there. I know it's not easy to get there, but you're going to sell online. You got to do that. It doesn't matter how you sell online, but you've got to sell online. I'd recommend Facebook. I recommend Instagram. LinkedIn's also good. Sell your product. Even if you make a bit of a loss, sell your product online to get that list of 100 people, ideally 1,000 people, who bought from you, and you can build this audience, this avatar replication audience from. So we're going to tell Facebook, we're going to open up an ad account on Facebook, and we're going to tell Facebook, these are the types of people who have bought from me in the past, and these are the people I want you to go out and find for me, and I want you to help me sell to those people. And believe it or not, Facebook will do exactly that for you. You've probably already heard of Facebook's algorithm. The Facebook algorithm is insanely knowledgeable. It knows an uncomfortable amount of information about you, about me, about our things we like, the things we will want to do. Facebook is insane for this. It knows way more probably than it needs to, but we can use this to our advantage, and we can use this to reach our ideal audience, okay? So Facebook, if you let it, will find your audience for you once you've got that list of between 100 and 1,000 people who've already bought from you. Now, the nice thing about this is I've been in this game, for the internet marketing game, for over a decade. And when I started out, the way I sold tens of millions of dollars worth of products was using affiliates. So I would create a product, I'd create a sales process, and I'd say to my affiliates, people who knew me, hey, I've got this new thing, I've got this new product, I've got this new service, new software, will you promote it for me? And because I was good at what I did, people promoted it, but I had to always give these affiliates a bunch of money in return. So I was giving away like 70%, 75% of all the money that I was generating, plus I had all my costs. So you end up with net not very much. These days, it's a bit of a different story, because now people like myself and people like you can use places like Facebook, places like Instagram to sell by yourself, and you get to keep all of the profits, which is pretty cool. So the key is what they call lookalike audiences. You may or may not have heard of them. You may or not know how they work. A simple Google will tell you. You can hit me up if you're not sure. I'm happy to explain. But the key is lookalike audiences. That's what Facebook calls them, okay? So when you open up an ad account on Facebook, ideally in something called Business Manager, I'll save that for another video, you're going to upload your list of buyers, ideally, or leads in second place, and ideally they're all going to be from one geographical location. So if you've got 100 people who've bought from you in America, Perfect. Same for Canada, same for Australia, same for anywhere really. Ideally, they're in one geographical location. And you tell Facebook, these are the people that I want to sell to. Not exactly these people, but people who look like them. And that's why it's called a lookalike audience. And in doing so, you're going to make a ton of money. And this is how the big guys, when you see, you're like, why is that guy always advertising to me? Why do I always see the same people advertising to me all the time? It's because you look like, according to Facebook, somebody who has already bought from them. So they're showing you their ad because they're like, well, if you're like the person who's already bought from me before, maybe you're the guy who will buy from me now. And that's why these lookalike audiences are so powerful. No, they don't always work, but yes, they work incredibly well. And they are the key to you making millions on social media. They're the reasons why the big guys make bigger profits than the little guys. They're the reason why the big guys can afford to pay more for their ads. That's one of the reasons at least. But they are the key. And yes, the start is difficult, but it's worth it. It's really worth it. And it's something you need to, if there's nothing else you do today, this week, this year, it's to think about growing that list of people who you can sell to, turning that list into a lookalike audience, and using this process I call Avatar Replication to actually sell a serious amount of money using things like Facebook and Instagram. And that's what you need to do. Create that lookalike audience, sell to them. Facebook is going to find people who look just like the people you've already sold to, and you're going to make a lot of money. It's the key to making millions on social media. Okay? It's the key. All right, hope that helps. Have a good day, and I'm going to find the button that allows me to log off, and I'm going to call it a day. Take it easy. Have a good one.